Okay.
Okay. Hey guys.
Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I went.
Hey guys. This is Kaylin,
This is Jadalyn.
and welcome back to our talk show. So today we're going to be talking about childhood, because this is a really important part of growing as a person. And this is really hard for me and Jay to talk about as well, because we're both still healing from a lot of parts of our childhood. So bear with us. It's going to be a little difficult.
So before we jump in, last week I said that there was a specific quote that I wanted to read you guys from my textbook. It's about risk taking. It says, "There are so many reasons people never move. Some have failed in earlier efforts, so they are reluctant to try again. Other people are not risk takers. They only move forward when the outcome is certain." I love that so much.
I love that so much.
I had to share that, so.
Here we go. We're about to take a big risk, you guys. This is a big risk.
This is huge.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Yes, and we have 3 questions that we're going to ask each other first, and then we're going to ask you guys 2 questions in the end that we want y'all to take the time out to like really ask yourselves and I don't know, just dig deeper. These are our dig deeper questions, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Kaylin,
Okay, here we go.
describe what your childhood was like. Did you feel neglected, protected? Was it joyful, painful, or scary?
I am going to say that my childhood was all of the above, because there was a lot of joy during my childhood. Like, my mom and my dad were together for the majority of my life, and it's five of us, 4 girls and 1 boy. So it was always crazy and just like fun. And honestly, like, I look back and I feel like the parts of my life that were joyful growing up had to do with God, because when God was centered around what we were doing, it was always okay. But of course, the scary parts of it had to do with my mom and my dad's relationship. Sometimes was not always the best, and that's, normal to a certain degree. The way that they would fight a lot of the times was toxic, and it was hard for us to be around it, and especially me, because I knew a little bit more than I probably should have growing up. And it made it to where, like, I was almost taking, like, the roller coaster ride with them, like, in their relationship. You know what I
oldest
mean?
usually does.
So that's, like, a common thing.
I feel like that too.
You do, both you too. Yeah, because you're also the oldest. So when they would fight, I would be walking on eggshells too, because I didn't know, like, I almost was like in the fight with them, even if they may have not realized that. So that always like shifted my mood. I allowed it to like change the way that I operated too in my daily life as a kid. Like, if they were fighting, I was upset also. It was just very toxic for me, especially because I knew a lot more, like I said, than I should have. And yeah, that's all the above. You said scary, joyful, neglectful.
Protected, painful, scary.
Yeah, honestly, all the above. Yeah.
So with my childhood, I definitely felt neglected a lot. Like, a lot. I don't even know.
I know. Neglected, like, oh my god. Holy crap, what just happened? That's crazy, bro.
It recorded the whole thing.
The whole thing. But yeah, I really want to talk about this.
Okay.
Neglected, like, you felt like all your emotions were never valid, basically. Like, if you would go to somebody with an issue, you were never heard. Is that like what you mean?
I was just like always to myself. I never felt like I could go to anyone.
Oh my god, I blocked out so many things. And you do till you start kind of having flashbacks. Like the main flashbacks that I have are like when I felt so hurt. Like I can go back to being like that little girl where I was like so hurt over like, you know, I try to even like as an adult try to like say like you were tripping, it wasn't even that serious. But it was to me because I was like trying to like voice my opinion and it was completely like told it wasn't valid. And it was painful. And I still carry that on today.
Same.
It's like the same exact thing. Do you have any like joyful memories of your childhood?
I think maybe in a big sister.
Okay. You're saying you being a big sister?
Like the oldest, like having my like a little sister like there with me, you know. I think that was it. But like trying to like retrieve memories, I don't.
No, me neither. I don't either. And I was thinking the same thing. There's like very few memories that I have, but they're so small. And then like I said, I look back and I'm like, it's not even that serious. But there's something deeper.
But as a little girl, like you're supposed to feel loved, protected, like valid, valuable.
So when you're rejected, you're like, ow.
And you're not supposed to like. I feel like us being big sisters. I mean, like the oldest.
Yeah.
We felt like we had to sit here and fix everything.
Yes. And I felt like I was a voice for everybody else.
Yeah.
And then
hard.
Yeah, it's so difficult. Like I carried so many things on my shoulders, and still do. Like I still repeat the same like big sister thing still today. Like I feel like I'm like I have to fight for them. Like I just feel like that.
Yeah, like when someone like you're not about to mess with my sisters.
That's insane.
Like
yeah,
I'm
no.
so
Protected.
overprotective. And especially even when it comes to someone in our family doing something to one of my sisters, I like.
Me too. Me too. I can't handle it.
I don't like.
And you know
so
that's also like a thing. That's like like this whole dynamic thing where when we are young and our parents say, "Hey, watch over your siblings," it forms that like thing where you have this for life. When it really probably shouldn't always be just that. It should be like, everyone watch out for each other. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I always.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot. Yes.
It is.
It's a lot of pressure. Exactly. That's a perfect word for it. Pressure. Pressure. And you always got to hold it together. You always feel like you got to hold together. And when everything, if things start unraveling, you start blaming yourself immediately. And like I said, I still do that.
I do that too. When you were growing up, what made you feel safe?
The outdoors. I love being outside. That was like my
You
escape.
still do?
Oh my god, I still do.
I know.
Well, I just kind of started ever since I had Cole. Like I didn't do that, and I cannot believe. And he loves being outside, so he forces me to go outside. I know. He forces me to go outside, and ever since I started going outside, even if it's like 5 minutes out of the day, it just relieves so much stress off of me. But it takes me back to when I was a little girl, and all I would do was ride my bike, play with my friends, stay in the pool all day.
I did that too.
You did that too? Yeah, outside was my escape, always.
Wow.
Always.
Mine? When I look back on it, I just feel like I was in my bed a lot. That was like my safe place. I just felt safe by myself. It's so weird.
So Jay, you were always in your bed. Oh, I just want to hug that little JJ. I
No,
do.
but like that's just how I feel.
I know.
Like when I look back
Hate
on
it.
like
I know.
my life,
like that was where you would go.
you know what?
What?
Going back to the first question,
Yeah.
my earliest memory of me being a little girl, I'm just gonna say it. I
Why?
have to. It's
Yeah.
just like I have
It's on your spirit?
it's jumping out of me right now.
What?
So it was my dad. So I have a biological father who's not present, and then I have a father who adopted me. So that father who adopted me, it was his birthday,
Okay.
and his biological daughter was like around, and I remember it being his birthday, and him like taking pictures with her, like always like holding her, but like I was like in the corner like
Just sitting there.
by myself. Like I couldn't understand why he didn't want to be like that with me. Like that hurts so bad.
So that is like your first
Mhm.
memory.
So like when I think of my inner child and like that little girl, that's the first thing that comes to my head because I felt so neglected and just like
And
the way
ignored.
that they treated her compared to me, it was
Mhm.
just so different.
Mhm.
So different.
So you
And-
probably grew up thinking, what's wrong with me?
Mhm.
Like, why
And
am I not?
You know what's crazy? This is like the next question.
What?
To this day, when it comes to like relationships and stuff, people really make me feel like I'm like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Because I grew up like that.
Yeah, thinking that something was wrong with you. Like this is
Mhm.
one man that you're thinking is going, you know, and once again, nothing towards him. I'm saying just
Right.
like you're thinking, you look at him as like your dad. So
Mhm.
like your dad's supposed to love you and like
Mhm.
care for you completely, like no matter what. And you're sitting here like, why not me?
Yeah. I
And
just
like you
couldn't
said, you're still
understand
doing
it.
that today in your life.
I could not. I still don't.
You still
understand
don't
it.
understand it, but it has nothing to do with you.
Mhm.
Nothing to do with you.
Stop. I know.
Jay, nothing.
I
Like it has
know.
nothing to do with you. But it's so sad because you literally think that it has everything to do with you. Like that makes me want to cry.
Stop. Stop. I know. But like it really like so that goes into like growing up and like going after people who are like the parent that was like
Yeah.
not present
For you, yeah.
Like I go after people who are like my dad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with my dad, but I'm just saying like he's just doing what he can with what he knows.
what he knows, exactly.
So it's just like
and then but then it's just a never ending cycle. So then here you are and you're like, God, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? But thank God that you have to take responsibility and say, you know, you have to go back there and just be like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. That you have to do some deep soul searching. Because if you don't, you end up neglecting people.
it's all about being
Hurting
self-aware.
children. Yes. Children, they're babies.
So
they don't know
innocent.
anything. They don't
So
know anything.
innocent.
They don't know anything. Like it hurts my heart bad.
In what ways has your childhood affected your romantic relationships?
Majorly. The same thing that Jay's saying she does in relationships is the same type of people I always go for. The ones who are emotionally unavailable. They're not present. They see me more as a possession and not a person with feelings and emotions. And I've definitely taken on the role as a people pleaser. So I'm always like willing to give and like love them like all the way through, but it's never like really reciprocated the same way that I do it for them. And that's the same way it was during my childhood. I mean, I always was just trying to be loved. I was always like trying to do the next best thing so that I could get some type of love, praise, like something. I just wanted something. And I still do that today, for sure.
I just felt like I had to be a specific person for my dad. And I feel like that in my relationships too. Like I have to perform in order for you to like value me.
Yeah.
Like I have to be a certain person for you to
Yes.
value me.
Yes.
Like I don't even
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Like instead of just being true to yourself, you try to like form into somebody that you think they might like, type of thing.
and I'm always myself, but I
Right.
feel like certain things I just like
Yes.
try to do the most like,
Yes.
so you can like
Yeah.
value me.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
not right. That's not right.
Not right. No, it's not right at all. Sips coffee. Okay. First question. Did your environment what is that? Environment? Did your environment nurture who you were born to be as a child and now as an adult? In other words, did it keep you grounded in your demeanor or did it lead you into other types of escapes or compulsions?
I didn't really have the best environment. It was very chaotic. My dad was like an alcoholic, so I just felt like, I don't know, I ended up like growing up like sneaking out, like just like running away from home, turning to alcohol, turning to other stuff, like turning to guys who don't even care about me, even like women. Like it's just, yeah, I definitely didn't feel safe. So
So you were trying to run, escape.
escape.
And that's like my point too here is like, say you did have a nurturing environment, you probably would have been like nurtured in other ways and like had other escapes that were like beneficial to you, like here, like later on in life, like now, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think the same thing. I don't know if I was very like a goody two shoes. Like that's where me and you are kind of different with it. Like,
No, I was good. Like I was
were?
like really good until I got into my teenagers.
you started lashing out, kind of.
That's when I was a teenager, I ran away from home. Like I was turning, like it's like
Jeez.
running. Sneaking out. Like
Yes.
yeah. But I was like I always kept my mouth shut. Like literally,
Yes.
as a little girl, I was just like I obeyed everyone.
Yes.
Like just like
Me too.
I didn't do any.
So you
wrong.
never really had a voice, ever. Like I never had a voice. I don't know how to communicate. I'm still learning how to communicate.
Yeah.
You know?
Keelan. So I'm just gonna
What?
say, so I'm half black, I'm half white. The father who adopted me is Spanish. So I don't know why I can't even believe I'm about to say these words just because of how aware I am that it's just so wrong. When I was growing up, I had to hide the fact that I was half black. I'm still hiding it from my little sister. One of my sisters found out when she was, I think, 12 or 13 years old. Like, I had to hide who I really was. And I feel like if you watch the video before this one, I was talking about how, like, I'm just now, like, starting to embrace my natural hair because it's, like, a part of me that I didn't even know how to accept. So that, I don't even feel like I have a voice either because I had to hide who I was my whole life.
Your whole entire life, Jay. Your whole life. Like
And I'm
that.
still doing it.
Yes, I know. Did growing up, like when people would ask you, did like people ask you what ethnicity you were a lot of times?
Yeah.
They did?
I don't really remember what I would say.
I know, what would you say? Would you not say black?
I definitely I feel like if you like knew me, you knew I was, but then I feel like I would just put down like I was Spanish because of my last name.
Wow. Wow. And I always thought you were too before I knew you. You know that? I always thought you were Spanish.
But my last name is
Is
Spanish. So
exactly.
It's weird
That's why I'm like, what? I was like, that's why I was like, Jay, I definitely thought you were Spanish. That's a big deal.
I know, feeling.
And this is also a part of it, like being honest about your childhood. And we are nervous because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
We love we still, even though we have we have issues from back then with
But
it.
no one's perfect.
Yeah, and that's what that too. No one's perfect.
And I'm so grateful for all that my dad has done for me,
Yes,
given me. Like I'm
exactly.
so grateful
Exactly.
for
So
that.
am I.
Like beyond words. Like I literally thank God for him every day.
Yes, yes.
But you know, growing up, it was hard.
yeah, yeah.
And it hurt.
And we also have to think about the fact that our parents were having us super young too. They were kids themselves.
My mom was 17 when she had me.
Yeah, that's insane.
17 or
That's
18.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine were like in their 20s, like early 20s. And if I had a child back then, y'all, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I would have. Not that I would have been a horrible mother, but yeah, I would have still continued these cycles. I would have continued the same ways of thinking. And now I'm just so thankful that now I'm finally getting it, and now I can change it before I was gonna spill it over into my child. Like, thank God. That's why these things have to be discussed. These things have to be talked about. We're not sitting here looking for an apology. We're just accepting our realities and trying to learn from them.
But it definitely stems from your childhood.
It does. Okay, so this is my second question. One thing you loved about your childhood and will carry over into raising your own children.
So I loved being a big sister, and my mom was very caring and nurturing. And I just feel like I'll be able to better care for my future children, just because I've been like babysitting them for so like my sisters for
You're
so
literally
long.
probably a mom.
So yeah, that's really
Yeah.
being
Just
a big
being
sister.
nerd and being a big sister. Yeah, I'm gonna say the one thing that I will definitely carry over, and I'm trying to today, is God, just making sure that He's like first, because I know that in the midst of anything that was ever toxic in my childhood, God kept me and my siblings together, like for sure. And He still does. Like He still does. His hand is still over each and every one of us, no matter what we go through. Yeah, and I just feel like that needs to be a thing. Like I need Cole to turn to God, period, when he's going through things. I cannot watch my child suffer and not know that God's there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big deal. It's like a really big
I
deal.
know.
And I don't want to do it to where it's overbearing, but I want him to know about God, and I want it to come from me. I want him to know that I'm a woman of God too. Yeah, it's like really.
He definitely will from you.
Yes, that's like a big deal for me. Okay. If you could change one thing about your childhood, what would it be? Like a rule or how you were raised?
I wouldn't change anything,
Really?
because it shaped me into who I am today. So without those experiences, I wouldn't be who I am.
You wouldn't be.
But one thing I do wish that was different about my childhood is the fact that I wish that my biological father was like more present. Like I had,
You
or like I
had.
just had like that male figure, like just like
Yes.
giving me, like showing me genuine love, or just showing me love at all.
It's like
you know?
a man, like you.
Yeah.
A girl needs her dad. Just, I mean, a boy does too, but like a girl needs to have her daddy. Like that's her first vision of what a man is supposed to look like, be like, act. She needs a solid man. And not seeing that man definitely has affected you.
In a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways.
Like, but that's for another day. You
Yeah,
know?
that is for another day. Relationships. For me would be communication. I feel like I lack in communication skills, and I'm not able to like just tell you why I'm angry, or tell you why I'm sad. Like, you know, I'm working on it, but I still have issues, and instead I want to like lash out or curse you out
healthy way. You wanna be able to do it.
I want to just be able to do it in a healthy way. And I truly believe that starts from when you were a little child. Communicating, like, why are you upset? Like having a safe space to express yourself. So when you don't have it when you're little, you grow up and nothing feels safe. Everything feels like, like I don't trust this person. I don't want to tell them. I don't want to be vulnerable with them. Like they could hurt me. So
oh my gosh, this is so weird, because I literally, like, reflecting on my recent relationship, I
Yeah.
just feel like I would just like walk out if I was like upset.
Yes.
Like, I
Because you
just
already think you're not
didn't-
gonna be hurt. But you already think you're not gonna be hurt, Jay. You're probably like, oh, bye. Like I don't have time for this. It's just
It's so bad. Oh my gosh, it's so.
Oh, I would do that all the time. Like I'm not dealing with this. Like I would just leave. But it's so horrible. Like how are you supposed to get anywhere? And that's another thing. Like if you're not used to communicating, but not only that, but if you have tried to voice your opinion and it's always shut down from the minute you open your mouth, you just feel like, what's the point, dude? I'm not gonna be heard anyway. So you carry that on into adulthood too.
Yes.
And you just be walking out.
Walking out, not
Walking
caring
out.
about nothing but
No.
yourself. Not caring about nothing. Not caring about anything. Proper English. What am I saying? No, but for real, like, and then like that could trigger someone not like.
Yes, I know.
like,
Yes, the person
it's-
you're dealing
it's
with.
so bad.
Yeah, that's messed up, y'all. It's so bad.
Oh my gosh, it really stems from your childhood. Like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy. Like, but learning how to communicate in an effective, healthy way takes time and
yeah.
work, and no one's perfect. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, as long as you're aware that that's something that you need to work on, like,
You
like
can
your
do
time.
it.
Yeah.
You can do it. No matter how, and I feel like you still have setbacks. Cause there's still times where I'm like, Kaylin, you should not have acted like that. But you're starting to hold yourself accountable. So the more you hold yourself accountable, the easier it's gonna get. And-
Accountability is
accountability.
everything. I don't know why I did that, but,
But-
just now.
No, it is. But it is everything.
For real, like so Kaylin and I decided that we're gonna be putting out a video every Monday, And then we also decided that, so we're going to give you guys homework. And we're going to be asking you a question or two every week just for you guys to reflect. And also the following show we'll have a special guest. If one of you guys want to be on this, so you can share your story, your experience as a little girl or a boy. You can come on here. You can come on here and just email us at she'sevolvingtalkshow@gmail.com or just DM one of us. But we just want to be able to heal and be accountable and just grow and evolve together as a community. And that's how we are going to be incorporating that. But whoever it is, as long as you're in the New Orleans area and you can just pull up to my house. Yeah, but we're really looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say.
Yes, and we're gonna ask you guys some questions, obviously, while y'all are here, whoever it is. And I really want to know how you took your upbringing that maybe wasn't so healthy, and how did you turn that around for yourself today? Like, what do you do about it today? I just want to know. I really do truly want to know how other people handle it. How do you turn something that really shapes your personality into adulthood? It's like you fight off these demons every day when you walk around in life. Your childhood demons. That's crazy. But we literally walk around and we hold these things in. What do you do with them? How do you handle them every day?
Do you try to escape?
Yeah, what do you do? Are you still escaping? Try to
journal,
yeah.
Working out.
Yes.
What do you do?
Yeah, I really want to know. This will even help me, because sometimes I don't know. There's days where I have awesome days, and some days I really have to fight off the things that I'm still carrying as a child. It is a daily battle. It's a big question for me. How do we get back to our inner child? I feel like whenever you're born into this world, I feel like God already gave you a name, a personality. He already formed who you were meant to be, who you were called to be. So then you come out into this world and you have two parents, not two sets of parents, I hope not. You have two parents who already have their baggage with them, and then they start teaching you things and molding you and shaping you. So now you're this different type of person. I'm not gonna say that I don't feel like that's always who God has called you to be. So I'm saying, how do we get back to the root? How do we get back to that person that God has called us to be? Where there's no pain, where there's no baggage, where there's no demons that we fight. Who are we really supposed to be on this earth? You get what I'm saying?
That's intense.
Do you get what I'm saying though? Who are we supposed to be walking around acting like? Who are we supposed to be?
But I feel like that's where it comes into play. Life is just constantly, you're just constantly evolving. So it's I feel like you're not even supposed, life is
you're
just
never supposed to stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Life is full of obstacles and conflicts and challenges. It's all about how you overcome that.
Okay, I like that.
And I feel like everything's just a lesson, and it's all about the way that you take that lesson, move forward with it.
Yes. I agree.
And but I feel like everything's a test too.
Okay, and then our second question is, so what if your personality isn't understood in your environment, especially as a child? What if you end up having to suppress who you really are inside for those around you? In what ways is this going to affect you, or has it affected you today, even in society?
I can relate.
Yes, I can too. I suppress my personality a lot. A lot. I always had to. Just in fear of not being, I feel like everybody probably feels like that though, in fear of not being accepted. But when I'm my true self, I feel like that's when the most people like me. And I'm what is my problem?
Right. Okay guys, thank you. Birds. Okay. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate your time. Once again, make sure you comment, and subscribe, and make sure you follow us on Instagram. We can't wait to read what you guys have to say about the questions. You can email them, you can DM them, or you can just journal them on your own,
Yeah.
just to have like a self-reflection. So
And yeah, guys, and also I hope this makes you guys feel like you're not alone. Nothing's ever perfect, and that's okay. Like Jay said, we're continuously evolving, and it's just to keep us moving forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.
thank y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Jay, is this our thing? Like, wait.
Is this our thing? Oh my god, I'm on the phone. Wait.
Jay, that's your thing.
Okay, Caitlin.
That's our thing.
That's it.
Where's me? Out.
Okay. What was that? What was that? Okay.